Hey everybody, welcome back to Machine and Mentor. It's your host Robbie, and today we're going to talk about how to email on autopilot. So how to save time without sounding like a robot. I think this is a really important topic because I think many times emails are very time consuming for people. People are actually not good at writing emails, not because they aren't good at writing, but they aren't good at how to make something elegant or add enough details, stuff like this. So many times people just kind of stare at the screen like, oh my God, what do I do? They also want to try to sound a little bit more professional, not so rude. A lot of times when I have non-native speakers as well, they're trying to say, hey, how can I add more softeners? How can I sound more polite? It's something that we really think about. Sometimes people are worried about replying too quickly. Sometimes they think I need to wait a while, or I need to be perfect at my timing, whatever it could be. Also, many times people spend too much time rewriting. And I think this is kind of the problem. So I think when we're using like AI, I think, some of the things that we should really think about is, first we should talk to it like a friend or talk to it like a coworker. And when we do that, usually we will kind of give the details that we want. We can kind of structure it in an easier way. And then the good thing about AI is it's really good about understanding. So it's going to sit there and it's going to take what you said, analyze it, and build something really good. So I think if we can switch our mindset from using AI as a tool to kind of like a coworker, I actually think our normal communication will actually improve. So I think this is something to look at. Okay, so tell me, does this sound familiar? I'll reply later. 3 hours go by. Oh, shoot, I did not do it anymore. Oh no, 6 hours went by. I haven't done anything. I haven't sent the email. I'm stressed. And all of a sudden we immediately regret it. Don't do that. AI is there to kind of save you time. For me, like right now, actually, I use a personal AI assistant platform called Hermes. And I actually use that a lot for, teaching, homework creation, stuff like this. And it does a lot of this automatically. I personally like security, so I personally ask for approval before it completes the task. But for some people, they can put on automation and it'll run. So, guys, don't push off the email. It only takes you a couple minutes with AI. Yes, as a normal person, maybe 20, 30 minutes, but promise you, once you kind of build the structure, you kind of get the rhythm, it'll go much quicker. All right, so remember, I want you guys to know something really, really important. AI is not here to replace you. It's not. It's a really great tool. It's really powerful, but it's not going to hurt you. Okay? So I want you to think about AI will help you with your first draft to see if you got it done correctly. It'll help you with rewriting and it'll also help you with summarizing. Sometimes there's some really long emails that we get, and sometimes we just need to summarize it. I think, actually, Google Gemini and I think Copilot from Microsoft actually do a really good job with summarizing. Actually, I like these tools a lot because they're more deeply integrated in our productivity tools more than like ChatGPT or Claude. They're starting to become integrated, but I think these ecosystems are already kind of in place. That kind of helps. Okay. So the only thing you need to think about in your email is, do I have the correct information? What kind of tone do I want? Do I want to sound professional? Do I want to sound preppy? Whatever. And then finally, your final approval. Does this make actual sense? And I think for anyone who's creating emails, it has to be the final approval. So even for me in my workplace, I have created a chatbot that will send emails for the workers, but I always make sure that each person has to approve the email before it's sent because you never know. AI may come up with something crazy. So always, always, always approve it first. So remember, AI writes the draft. You make the final decision. Okay? So here's prompt one. So I want you to draft from scratch. Sometimes you know what you want, but not how to say it. Okay? So let's look at this. So we're going to look at this prompt here. So it says, write a polite email to my manager saying, I will finish the report by Friday. Keep it under 100 words. Friendly, but professional. Okay, so while we're here, let's just do it. Let's just kind of jump in and let's actually see if we can switch gears and try it. So let's take a look here. Let's see if I have that pulled up. Okay, so I have Gemini pulled up. I'm going to use Gemini because I like Gemini as a good productivity tool. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So let's see what our original prompt was. So write a polite email to my manager saying I'll finish the report by Friday. Okay. So please write an email to my manager that I will finish the report by Friday. Please write it in a polite way. Okay, and then we'll keep going. So we'll say keep it under 100 words. And then what's the last part? Keep it friendly but professional. All right. Make it friendly but professional. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good prompt because it's kind of showing us, hey, this is the specifications I have, a time, I have how many words I want, what I need to do. So I need to finish the report by Friday, and it should be under 100 words. So let's go ahead and give it a whirl. And what it'll do is it will produce us a really, really nice draft. So you can see here in our subject line, project update report timeline, it's very professional. I hope you're having a great weekend. That's a great opener. That's a good start for the subject. I want to provide a quick update on the report I'm currently making a great progress on, and I want to track on it and have it completely completed in your inbox by this Friday. Please let me know if there's any other areas you would like me to focus on or highlight. Best regards, and then there's a placeholder for your name. That's a professional email. No one wants to admit that, but it is. So when you think about this, this is a great way to draft your first email, okay? So let's go back. Let's go ahead and switch gears again, and we'll kind of continue on to the slideshow. So we went through prompt 1. I think that was really, really positive. So let's talk about prompt 2. Rephrase your writing. You already have something. Don't start over. So obviously we have something that we've already built. So let's just go ahead and try to make it more professional. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So let's see here. So we'll just take what we have and we'll just say, hey, please make this more professional. That's all we got to do. Make it simple. Copy and paste our draft, and it will give us something else. So there you go. Status updating progress. There you go. I'm writing to provide a status update on my report. There you go. That's more advanced language. That's more proper language. Progress is steady, and I'm on schedule to finalize and submit the completed document by this Friday. Okay, very clear. Please let me know if there's any specific sections you would like me to prioritize. Good, we changed the wording again. Or emphasize prior to submission. Sincerely, and in your name. Very good prompting, the very professional words. I think it's amazing. So very good job. So actually, I apologize. I just did not show you that. So we'll just look at that briefly so you guys can see it. So oops. Well, that's not cool. Let's see what happened. Okay, so a little bit of a technical error there. So let's go ahead and just continue back. So we'll just take that same thing. We're just going to copy and paste that, and we're just going to go again. Please make this more professional. Okay, so what's going to do is it's going to try to make this a little bit better. So as you can see, it's coming up with more advanced language. It's coming up with more proper openings and endings, stuff like this. So this is super positive, and I think it's really great to see. So I like it. Okay, so we'll go on to prompt 3. So summarize long emails. Nobody wants to read this. So summarize this email thread into 3 bullet points and tell me what I need to do. Okay, so we can kind of just take it again and we can kind of prompt it. We can kind of say, okay, hey, okay, so please summarize this email into bullet points and tell me what I need to do. All right. All right, so here we go. So what this will do is it will try to summarize what it's trying to say. So it's going to say, hey, this report is in progress, it remains on schedule. The timeline to final report will be delivered by this Friday. Action requested, the sender's asking if you have any specific area questions or what you need to do. What you need to do. So decide on focus areas and reply to the sender. Okay, so this is pretty good. So you can now see that we went from creating our first draft to rewriting more professionally to actually getting like some action items for us. And I think that's really important for like emails because now we have a clear idea of what we're looking for, what we need to accomplish, right? So here we go. We have just these 3 prompts. If you guys like them, you guys can keep them and use them for yourself. So let's go on. All right, so try it yourself. Obviously, you should try to create an email, kind of get it with, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever your favorite AI source is, and just try to draft something very beautifully. Okay, so your goal, save yourself 10 minutes of time. I promise you, you will. Small wins build confidence. So as you start to do small tasks with AI, like build an email, maybe fix an Excel sheet, whatever it is that you're trying to do small pieces, and you're going to get higher results. Many times people who are using AI will try to accomplish big tasks that could take months or weeks and try to condense it into one prompt, and usually will have a lot more work to do than normal. But if you're trying to do something simple like write an email, check spreadsheet numbers, whatever, you're going to come out much better and much more confident at the end of the day. Okay, so remember, this is my human rule. So never send AI output immediately. So you should always check for names, dates, numbers, attachments, tone. Okay, think of AI as your intern. But if it fails, you are still responsible. And this is also going into AI governance, which I will not talk about, but this is really important. So remember, you are the boss. Your AI is your helper. When it makes mistakes, you are liable. Okay? All right, guys. Remember, safety first. Never paste passwords, financial records, client information, medical records, confidential company data. Don't do it. If you're using a public AI tool, assume that your information will be leaked and used by other people. So always err on the side of caution. If you're using an enterprise solution like Google Gemini Business Pro or Google Gemini Enterprise Pro, you have more data governance and sovereignty, so it'll be a little bit better. But if you're just using like ChatGPT free version or pro version, you're kind of screwed. But so always spring for the business or enterprise version. But, talk to your employer about that first because it gets expensive. Okay, so, all right, guys. So that's it for me. So this is just a really quick and dirty way to write emails. Hopefully that kind of made sense and you guys took some value away from this. So guys, this is it for my first video. Hopefully you guys liked it. I know there was a little bit of mistakes at the end, but I really appreciate you watching and we'll see you guys in the next episode of Machine Inventor.